Some battles have been fought, but the war is just beginning in the sub-ohm fight. FreeMax Starre tank. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, and welcome back to this edition of the Vapor Chronicles. What can I say? Another day, another sub-ohm clearomizer. Tonight we're going to take a look at the Starre, S-T-A-R-R-E from FreeMax. It is a sub-ohm clearo with a world's first dual bottom vertical coil, 0.25 ohms. Sometimes I know very little about product that's coming out, so there's no hype or fanfare, and I received an email from FreeMax and they asked me if I would review their Starre tank. One day the Starre tank was on their webpage, the next day it wasn't, and I was a little bit skeptical, but I said, what the hell, it's a sub-ohm tank, I'll give it a shot. So they sent it to me, I got it in the mail. Holy crap, it is a serious contender in the sub-ohm fight. It's a little frustrating for me because I know a lot of you guys, you ran out and you bought the Atlantis, then you run out and you buy the sub tank, you run out and buy the Delta 2, and it's like, Smoke's releasing a sub-ohm, everybody's releasing a sub-ohm. Which one is the best? And that is a really tough thing to answer because all of them in different ways are very, very good. My job is to sort of give you my analysis on each one and tell you if it's something that I would buy, I would vape, if I would enjoy it. All right? Now, loaded up right now on my SX Mini is the Starre tank with the 0.5 ohm dual vertical coil. Now the 0.5 ohm is one of the kits. You can buy one of the two tanks and it comes with two coils. You can buy the 0.5 if you have maybe an iStick 50 watt, which, you know what, let me put this on there. You can buy the 0.5 ohm if you have a 30 watt device, even though I have to say that I think these tanks perform better at the 40 to 50 watt range, even with the 0.5 ohm vertical coil in it. Here it is on the eLeaf iStick 50 watt with the 0.5 ohm coil, and I have the 0.25 ohm coil on my Sigelei 100 watt, and we're going to look at that after the close-up. But let's take this for a vape before we go up and close and I break down the all the specifications and the build on this. Okay, so this is 50 watts. It's reading 0.6 ohms on the eLeaf iStick 50 watt, 5.4 volts. Let's give it a vape and see how she performs. All right. Pretty damn well. The flavor is excellent. The airflow is ridiculous. I mean, it is better than the Atlantis airflow. So it's the most airflow out of any clearomizer to date with the stock heads in it that I've tried. This is not even a max VG. This is like a 60-40 or a 70-30. In the other tank with the 0.25 ohm coil, I have a 90 DG that we're going to take for a vape and see if it can keep up. As you can see, this thing throws the vapor at tremendous amounts for this. Anyone will be happy with this 0.5 ohm. Even short pulls at 50 watts, it keeps up with the juice flow. It's warm, but it's not hot, and it's cloudy. It's getting cloudy in here. Now, if you want to pull like a reasonable human being, it's wonderful. If you want to pull like a banshee, ridiculous. Great flavor, 5 milliliter juice capacity, huge airflow, and man, just when you think that there can't be another tank that can compete with what's already come out, another relatively unknown steps in and just totally sucker punches me, and I'm left with my jaw on the floor. I guess this is the way this industry is going. So let's zoom in, let's take a look, let's break it down, and we'll come back out and we will vape the 0.25 ohm at 100 watts. Let's zoom in. Okay, so here is the outside of the case that it comes in. Now you'll see here it says Starre tank 0.25 ohm. The package, I received 2 containers with my kit, and the one was the 0.25 and the other package was the 0.5. So it looks like they're going to come in 2 different builds, or same tank, 2 different coils, one with a 0.5 and one with the 0.25. So if you have a device that doesn't support going down to 0.25 and only goes to 0.5, it still produces a ton of vapor in this setting. But for tonight's review, we're going to take a look mostly at the 0.25. The basic specifications, it says the capacity is 5 milliliters, the working power is from 20 to 100 watts, and the coil options are 0.25 ohm and 0.5 ohm. So it comes with the Starre tank replacement dual vertical coil and the replacement glass tube. So there you go. Just to let you know, there is no warning on the case, which I think there should be, on using the correct regulated device or mechanical device with the correct battery with this, but it doesn't have it, so I'll pass that along. Let's open this. So in your case, and I don't know if this is the pre-release version or the final production version, you have your extra glass tube, you have your extra dual vertical coil, and you have some instructions in the case. Okay, it has what they call a big drip tip. There you go. That's made out of stainless. And you're gonna have to bear a little bit with my heater, it just turned on. The upper hardware is made out of SUS 304 grade stainless steel. It's a medical class stainless steel, and it has a glass tube. The glass tube is made from a high quality. The glass tube is made of a borosilicate, which is a thermally stable, heat resistant, and anti-corrosive glass. And the airflow adjustment, you can see on the tank itself, you have this nice sort of raised metal for turning the airflow adjustment, and you have a large Cyclops style airflow here, and you have a large on this side. And the way that the airflow adjusts, and this is something I've been wanting for a long time, is that it's click. So click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it closes. So if you want a tighter draw, you can have it there. Same on the other side. And you can see the logo for the Starre, S-T-A-R-R-E. I'm not sure if that's an acronym or what it is, but that's just the name of the tank, and you can see FreeMax on this side. So let's take this apart. To take off the base of the unit, you just close off the airflow and screw counterclockwise, and you'll see that your coil comes out with the base. Now, to change out your glass, you would just screw these in the opposite direction, and you can see it connects in the middle, right there. There's your chimney. And the way it works is this basically threads on here, and it's sealed with those O-ring gaskets. Now you'll also notice at the top here that there is another O-ring right here. It's clear. And that is so juice doesn't leak up your chimney, because the top of the coil does not have a top on it or a screen. See? So that seals right in there once it goes in. See? And that's where your juice is going to funnel in. So let's do this. Let's take a look at the coil itself. Okay, so here is your coil, and let's take it off. There's some threading on here. By the way, the Aspire Atlantis coils do not, or this does not fit in the Aspire Atlantis system. So you would just grab this and counterclockwise. And it comes out of the base. So here is this head. FreeMax is proud to introduce the first dual vertical coil in the world. The FreeMax coil uses medical grade cotton to better wick liquid, and it also uses USA made coil wire for superb connection and performance. So let's take a look inside here. As you can see, there's your dual wire lead starting here. And if you take a look inside, so there's the up close of the actual coil itself. You can see the two coils, the two wires wrapping around the inside, and the cotton padding is on the outside. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 huge juice wicking openings and 4 large air hole openings. You could compare it to the Aspire Atlantis. Now you'll notice that the Aspire Atlantis has larger air openings at the bottom, but the wicking on this is much superior. But notice the difference. When I turn this sideways, there's no air channel there. When I turn this sideways, there is. So all in all, this has better airflow than the Atlantis coil, and it's also a bigger diameter coil. You can see when I hold them up, this actually fits inside of here. And you'll see on the side. There you go. All right, so to fill up your tank, what we're going to do is we're going to put the glass back in. So if you're going to do a glass change, I'll show you how to do it here. So you have your replacement glass, you would just seat it. And you would take this, make sure this is seated, and start to screw it on together. So when you screw this in, I'm getting a little bit of a grab, so just make sure you do it all the way, nice and tight, so that it makes good contact with your coil, okay? So there, it's on there tight. Now what we're going to do for this is, I have 5 milliliters of juice, 90 VG in this syringe, so we're going to use this to fill it up to make sure it holds that much juice. So let's, now when you fill, you want to make sure that you fill in that hole opening on the side there and on that opening on the side. Don't get it into the center there, okay? So we're going to put this, now you can do it with a drip bottle, that's fine, it'll work, but I'm going to do this just to make sure I can fit the whole amount in there. And there you go. So that's 5 milliliters of juice. Take your coil, and before you put it back in, you want to make sure that you take some juice in the drip tip and just put some drips into this cotton and make sure it gets nice and saturated. Right down the middle is fine, and around the side. And once that soaks in, but as long as you put enough in there to get it a little wet, you can see it's wet now. And then you just put this on here and then start screwing it back on. Pop your drip tip back on. And the drip tip is really, nice and solid in there. And there you have it. And let's put it on some mods. So 0.25 will fit on the eLeaf iStick 50 watt. This is a 22 millimeter diameter tank, so it's going to fit on everything. And here I have it already on my SX Mini. Put it on the Ego 1. I'm just kidding. Joke, joke, joke. And what I'm going to vape this on tonight is the Sigelei 100 watt plus. So there you go. All right, so let's line this up with competitors' tanks on the market. Let's line them all up first. All right, so from left to right, we have the FreeMax Starre, we have the Joytech Delta 2, then we have the Aspire Atlantis 5 milliliter extender, then we have the Kangaroo Subtank Mini, the eLeaf Mellow, the Silver Play RTA, and the eLeaf Lemo RTA. So there you go. And for this, I'm going to put all these on this little stand that one of my subscribers mailed me. This is from Foggy North Vapes, so thank you, Foggy North Vapes. And I can use this at my desk when I'm checking out tanks. So let's load all these up on here. So here is the Starre, Delta 2, Atlantis, Silver Play, Kangaroo Subtank, Lemo, and the Mellow. All right, let's zoom back out and take this bad boy for a vape. Okay, so we took a look at the build. It looks great, it feels great, good quality, easy to take apart, easy to clean, and we now have the sub ohm coil in here. It's juiced up, it's wicked, it's airflow all the way open. On the Sigelei, it's reading 0.2 ohms and 5.3 volts at 100 watts. Just a little disclaimer. You're not going to want to vape this at 100 watts. I'm just doing it to show you because on the coil it said it can go up to 100. Chances are, if you chain vape and you do long pulls at that wattage, it's either going to get too hot for you or it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to dry hit probably, and you're not going to be able to chain vape at that level. Maybe 80 watts or 70 watts, but not 100. But here's 100 watts on the Sigelei. Let's give it a shot. they can do it. It does it. No dry hits on that. I would not chain vape at that level. Airflow's tremendous. Let's lower it to a more respectable, let's go to 75 watts. 75 watts, 4.6 volts, 0.2 ohms. It's like a dripper. It truly is like a dripper. It's really, really good. I'm like a vape sprinkler. Wow, you're gonna drain juice and you better have a solid job and a vape budget because, woo, 5 milliliter tank can drain really fast at those levels. If we lower it down to 50 watts, and by the way, I haven't had a dry hit yet, but 50 watts, 0.2 ohms, 3.8 volts still. Tighten the draw a little bit, get some more flavor. Just huge amounts of billowing clouds. It's unbelievable. There you have it. Let's talk about price. I have in front of me the wholesale price list and the MSRP. So MSRP, and I'm not going to go into wholesale. If you're a distributor, you can contact them directly. The MSRP is set at $36 for the tank. The coil packs come in packs of 5 and they are $20 per pack. Remember, that's the MSRP. You'll probably see it discounted with whatever shops decide to sell it at. I was told that Deuce Juice, DEUSJUICE.com has them in stock. I went to their site, I couldn't find them on there. This is directly from FreeMax that told me this. They did say that they would be shipping out a ton of them after the Chinese New Year. So as soon as they become available at stores, I will post below exactly where you can buy them. For now, you can check Deuce Juice or contact them and find out if they have them. But I would imagine these are going to be available at your local brick and mortar and also online. And I'm surprised, really stunned by the performance of these dual vertical coils. I can't believe it's been done. You know, it's just a tremendous amount of vapor, and the flavor is on par with the Kanger Subtank Mini. It's on par. It's better than the Atlantis, in my opinion, until we get the new coils. And the Delta 2 has a little bit better flavor, in my opinion, but this thing can vape a lot higher and produce much more vapor and sub-ohm at a much lower ohm resistance level. So there you have it. This was a surprise. I jumped this to the front of my queue because I was excited to give it a vape, and once I realized it could handle the power, I said, you know what, I gotta get this out there. So Starre tank, FreeMax, it's a win. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, we have new and exciting products like this all the time. So subscribe today. You can also visit me online at www.thevaporchronicles.com. And if you want to see this innovation continue, if you want to see this industry continue to grow and have the small guy win for once, visit www.casaa.org and fight for your right to vape. If you don't do it, nobody will. So visit CASA today, become a member, it's free, and we need to fight together as if our lives depend on it, because they do. I'll see you next time on the Vapor Chronicles.
You